Hey everyone, this is the Rip Talk, and we are the Gatekeepers, and this is another news flash. Um, what do you want to talk about, Jamie?
Hi. We're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about music and what music you were listening to on repeat, or if you
Not even a
even listen.
repeat, like
Yeah, if whatever you're listening to during this quarantine. If you're
yeah,
quarantining,
quarantine.
quarantine.
So let's talk about music during the quarantine, pandemic style. Like, first off, I think it's really hard for artists to release anything during this time. But also it's an opportune it's also like a good time to release something because everybody was at home, you know? So, but also I think that like time kind of like has like meshed together. Like so like things that like were released like I don't know, 6 months ago, I'm like, "Oh, was that even did that really come out this year?"
Yeah. I think that for an artist during the quarantine time, I want to know how I think about this quite often with music. What kind of a change is happening within the music that artist made? Do you know what I'm saying? Because it has to be like
Yeah.
it's a real change. And you know, where the new side of inspiration is, and also I wonder how much anxiety the artist has and the band releasing their music during this time. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If they feel like it's going to be more of it's a choice of more popularity because they know people are going to be wanting to listen to new music because that's kind of what people are depending on for some kind
Yeah.
of a therapy, as opposed it's like I'm going to release music and I'm in a competition with a lot of people and I don't really know, but I'm on the same kind of path as everyone else, just releasing. So do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I don't know, there's been some really interesting ways of like community like reaching out to the community during this time. Like there's a lot of like these like club quote unquote like club parties that are like on Zoom where there's like hundreds of people that like are all on Zoom and there's performers and that's kind of been kind of like really cool, and I think that that's been able to kind of reach a broader audience than just like a venue, like one small
Yeah,
venue.
for sure.
So I think that that kind of aspect is really, really been cool. And I saw like a few like musicians play like on Zoom, and I don't know, you just have to kind of wonder if like this is the way that like live music is going to be for like I think this is like a new avenue for like live music. Not necessarily like getting rid of live music, but just let's talk about music that we got us through this pandemic.
Okay. Let's do it. Maybe I'll bring mine out too. I just listened to the.
I'm just looking at my you guys. I listen to the most cheesiest shit like behind closed doors. like it's it's almost borderline embarrassing, but I'm not embarrassed because I don't care. What you know, so anyways, I went to my safe haven and that was like playing music that I really dig on repeat. Like I do
Yeah.
you do that, Jamie? Do you
I
play
yeah.
all the time?
Oh yeah. I remember me and you were talking about it, and I sent you a song, and I'm like, I'm this is on repeat, and you're like, I literally do repeat of same song over
Over
and
and over
over and
again.
over again, and I'm like, oh, me too. And like my brain, like it doesn't it like it's so stimulated, and it doesn't stop. And I thought that was really cool. That was like one of the first kind of, I think, like the first things that we really did bond over was the repeat.
Listening to the same song on a loop like makes my brain work a certain way. Like I feel like there's like a frequency that like my brain works at, and like if I can get something that like matches that, then I'm like, okay, it's on, you
Yeah.
know?
Uh-huh.
If you watched our last episode, which I'm sure you did, you would know that Jamie mispronounced so many actors' names in the last episode, and it was really funny. But you know what? At least you made an attempt. I don't even know people's names. I'm not good with names. I know faces really well, but I don't know anyone's name.
Yeah, I don't I have a really hard time with names as well. And even I had everything written out and I still couldn't figure it out. So, I mean, that's bad.
So, what music were you listening to, Jamie, during quarantine?
Okay, so I did a lot of soundtracks for movies, and one of them was the Mandy soundtrack.
Nice.
That was really pretty, and I felt like that really did help me a lot. And then I also listened to a lot of Deftones. Deftones is my favorite band. Will and always will be my favorite band of all time. There's this band called obviously you know it, Soft Kill.
You know, I saw them. I saw them with the Chameleons, actually.
Awesome. Really?
Hmm.
I listen to a lot of Soft Kill because that's kind of like I love I love I loved it. It kind of
They're
it sounded like older music, but then like it's new.
it's weird because like that like new there's like this like new goth sound that
Yeah.
like is out, and it's so funny because there's like a formula that you need to like follow, but there's a lot of bands that like try to like follow that formula and they do a really bad job of it.
Tell us the bands. I love this. This is
I
good.
can't think
This
of
is
no, I can't even
no.
think of any of them because I don't even know, like, oh, uh what are they called?
Uh-huh.
What are they called?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think.
It's like the band that like made us start this podcast.
What is the band called?
Oh my god.
You
Cold
gotta look at
Cave.
Cold fucking Cave.
That was it. I couldn't remember it. That's how much I don't care about that band. I just can't get behind them.
Cold Cave, guys. Mark, break it down.
They just are really bad. They're not. I think okay. The only reason why they have a good following is because the lead singer was like in a hardcore band prior to this when hardcore was cool. Um, and then other than that, I don't really know why they're so great, like, or why so many people enjoy them. I'm sure people will tell me. I would like to know because I just clearly am in the dark about it. But there's like so many other good bands that like actually do like really good like goth, like goth, like a goth sound, like Astra, Crocodiles. There's Drab Majesty,
Oh
Adults.
yeah. Yeah.
Like there's so many really good bands, and I just think that they sound too hokey for me. And
Yeah.
they look like they're wearing a goth costume. They don't look like they're real goth. They
They're
look like
like the
poser goth.
people, yeah, the Urban Outfitters goth.
Yeah, like Williamsburg goth.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Or you
yep,
go to a party and someone plays Bob Dylan. Whoa.
yeah. That's
That's like
that's a downgrade.
yeah.
Or like Dave Matthews Band. Like, would you? I think I would like leave a room.
I would leave the party
I would leave the party.
immediately. Immediately.
Or Fish. Does
Oh,
anyone actually listen to Fish?
yes, there are people out there who listen to Fish and people out there who actually listen to the other band that's a part of Fish. It's like the Grateful Dead. No, it
String
is the Grateful
Cheese.
Dead. I'm talking about the
Oh,
Grateful Dead. It's like the
oh yeah.
Grateful Dead.
I only know one song by the Grateful Dead, and it was the one that they had the music video for, and they were like skeletons, and the skeletons were like singing.
Kind of sounds cool. I didn't see it.
It's a dope video, and
Okay.
I saw it like in a planetarium when I was a kid
Ooh,
at a laser
cool.
light show, and it was like an
Awesome.
intermission.
Yeah.
And so that's the only one I know. It's like it's that "I Will Get By" song. You know it.
Oh yeah, I
I
do know.
will. Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
note. That's the only song you know by the
Huh.
Grateful Dead.
But like there are people who are like into the Grateful Dead, like young people, and I don't
Deadheads.
know why though. But like, is it because you actually think that music's good, or are you following some kind of a like a what is it called, a scene? Like, do you really think that music's good? Are you actually sitting down and
I think
going,
they just like
yes?
the shirts. I think the shirts are
I
what brings
think
it.
maybe you're right, Mark. I think you're right. That's a
I
good
think it's the
point.
shirts.
Mhm.
Yeah. I had a Grateful Dead shirt on. I had a Grateful Dead shirt when I was in 5th grade. And I got it because of the shirt and it had those little bears on it and
Would
they
you
were
wear one now?
skydiving. Yeah, I would. And I would be like, but I would also be like, oh yeah, I'm wearing this shirt literally because I like this design. Do I know anything about the Grateful Dead? No.
Have you ever seen 100% bleach Grateful Dead shirt? That'd be kind of cool. That it was just like white, a white Grateful Dead shirt.
You- have you just ever seen a white Grateful Dead shirt?
Rare.
Rare. Yeah. I bet you those go for a pretty penny on eBay.
Also, do you guys want to know like the Clueless soundtrack? Guys, I love soundtracks.
I love the Clueless
Oh,
soundtrack. It's my
absolutely.
favorite. It's my favorite. I was going to bring it up earlier. I love the Clueless soundtrack.
Clueless is one of my favorite movies. Um,
I just got real excited.
yeah, Clueless is one of my favorite movies, and the soundtrack,
The best.
oh,
Quintessential, like late or like mid 90s soundtrack. It had everything. It had like rap, it had like kind of post grunge, it had some like cute indie songs. It was so
hmm
good.
so good. It is seriously so good. Everything about that package is
Yeah. And it's like just the right amount of like cringy nostalgia that like I really am all about. Like
I
that
love
Mighty
it.
Mighty Boston song, like
Oh,
it's so bad I can't help but love it.
uh-huh. I love
And
it too. It's
and
so
that
good.
Coolio song, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I did a lot of Clueless soundtrack work too. It was just so,
The
um
Romeo and Juliet soundtrack is really good.
oh, a Romeo and Juliet soundtrack is so good.
That
It
was
is
like the
so good.
that was like quintessential like that was like when like making a soundtrack was like an art form and like people were like paid to like make movie
People were
soundtracks.
paid to get the bands, like good bands, and like put them together and compile them to this what you want this mood to be for your movie. Yeah, like it was a legit
Yeah.
art form.
Yeah, like I know that like there were songs that were made specifically for that Romeo and Juliet movie. So like they
Mhm.
made songs for that movie.
Yeah.
But like that's how I found out about all like the music that I'm into is because I listened to a bunch of movie soundtracks when I was younger. And
Movie soundtracks were like really the gateway into like who you were,
yes,
right? Like you would listen to a
yes,
movie soundtrack and then you would pick up on you would get a song and you're like,
yeah.
Where do
I
I go
gotta
from
find them.
here? Where
Yeah,
do I go from
yes,
here? All
yeah.
right, I'm into it. It's like
Yep.
it's a little clue,
It's a,
and then it just kind of drove you to the next
takes
one.
you to the next treasure, and then the next treasure, and then you know that is like that was like home like know your like I don't know, soundtracks were kind of like a compass, and
For sure.
it weaved you through the forest of
What you want and what you don't want.
yeah. That's kind
I
of like
yes.
I
So
love it.
good. It's so good. So
We
good. So
literally
good.
just had a breakthrough right now.
Uh-huh. We had a breakthrough. Well, is there anything else we should talk about?
So I just wanted to tell everybody because we're really excited about this announcement. We have our first sponsor, and it's tombstonebuilder.com. Dot
Tombstonebuilder.com.
com. And we are the official spokespeople for tombstonebuilder.com. It is the place where you go when you need to
Make a memory last
make a memory.
lifetime and after your lifetime. Also, anyone who's into Deftones,
Hit her up.
hit me up. I want to talk about Chino because his voice is. I have the biggest crush on Chino.
I was like a Marilyn Manson mall goth at that time. But I never got into Deftones.
Yeah, I love Marilyn Manson, but there's something about Deftones. It was just like I grew up in California, obviously, so I think that that's like a staple for a lot of
But
a
what about
lot.
Sublime?
Oh,
Yeah, that you're into that?
Oh my God. I am in an
Oh.
interrogation room.
See, that's a guilty pleasure right there.
That is, but guess what? It's not, but it is. Okay, guilty pleasure number 2 then, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some Red Hot Chili Peppers songs I
Give it
like.
away, give it away, give it away now.
That video is the best.
Oh.
They're like naked in silver paint.
Is where I do something.
I remember that video
I don't really
very
know the words,
vividly.
but I do know the words, but I don't. But yes, Red Hot Chili Peppers. And also,
Aerosmith.
okay, I have a funny Aerosmith. I love Aerosmith. I love Aerosmith.
Love.
My sister is the biggest fan of Aerosmith, and she has an Aerosmith tattoo, and she has seen so many Aerosmith concerts, and she would go alone, dude. Like, not alone, but she would buy tickets, and no one would go with her except for me and my little sister. And we were young. And so there was this one time she bought tickets, and she's like, we're going to Aerosmith tonight, and we're taking Dowd's truck. And I'm like, fuck, I was 17 years old. And I was like, okay, let's do it. She got us some beer. We got wasted in the fucking parking lot in my dad's truck. Went up to Aerosmith concert. We were really far away, but my sister's seen him like 15 times, and it was honestly the funnest shit I have ever been to.
All those like videos they had with like Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah.
That was kind of like their like 90s resurgence, I feel. Like that's like when they were trying to like break into like the 90s. Aerosmith videos from the 90s with Alicia Silverstone. It was like a trilogy. So it was Crying, Amazing, and Crazy.
That's a real trilogy.
Yeah, but like if I could envision myself like spiritually as anybody, it would be Alicia Silverstone and Liv Tyler in the Crazy video.
Absolutely. Like, back in the day, like, Alicia Silverstone was the coolest, right?
She's like,
She still is. She's pretty cool.
yeah.
But she like
Did you ever see The Crush?
Yes.
Love.
Yes. The Crush. You just saw that. Remember you were telling me about it? You're like, I just saw this movie again. Didn't you? Was that the one you were telling me about? Was it Crush or what was it? It was
Oh, Poison Ivy.
Yes.
I love Poison Ivy. I remember seeing that movie one night, like when I was like obviously too young to see it, and it was like on like Cinemax or something. And I remember watching it, and it had Sarah Gilbert from Roseanne on it, and I just love that movie. It's like so
good,
so sleazy. It's just so good. Like the clothes are so good, and I just love it.
So if you guys want to have a recap of 2020, listen to Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun, YouTube it, do the video, because that's what.
And then the replay or like the auto play.
Yeah. Because that's 2020.
To you.
To me, it is. And also the music video is so good. And then
there were so many good. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say there was like so many really good, like memorable music videos that I loved growing up, like seeing as a kid. Like remember the Tom Petty "Don't Come Around Here No More" video?
So good.
Dude.
So good.
Tripped me out as a kid. Like
I know.
My mind was like bending.
Yeah. There are so many good music videos. Like there's really so many good music videos. 9 Inch Nails had some good music videos.
Yeah.
Like really good, actually.
Close. Obviously the Closer video is like one of like the most like quintessential 90s music videos.
Marilyn Manson had some really good ones.
So good.
Come on, give me a break.
Sweet Dreams, that video was so scary.
Oh, absolutely. It still is scary.
That was the video that like completely changed my teenage years, was that video.
Sweet Dreams.
Yeah. That's when I got into them.
Dreams are made of the her.
Well, you just like reversed it.
All right, so that wraps up Newsflash.
It was fun.
It was so much fun. I really did enjoy this one. I love talking about what we are listening to during quarantine and what we continue to keep listening to. We want everyone to
Over and over again.
on repeat. We want everyone to call in. And also, we have a special gift for the 20th caller. Um, I think it's
It's a
pretty
little
cool.
surprise. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
pretty sweet.
surprise. So we'll reach out to you, whoever it is. And obviously, we can call you back if you want us to call you on your personal line.
Don't worry, don't you worry about all that. We got that all figured out for
We'll
you.
figure it out.
You just
But
keep calling and we'll make it happen.
keep calling,
Um,
guys.
we need callers for our next episode. So if you haven't called our hotline and give us a paranormal story, please do so because it is up to you guys to help create the best episode ever. So we're going to be listening to all your paranormal stories and we're going to be reacting to them with a special guest. So give us a call and thank you for your
Yeah.
support. Comment hashtag 111 on our Instagram, and you can be part of our 111 111 club, which is the honorary Rip Talk secret society.
Thank you guys for watching and listening to Newsflash. And it happened in a flash. And
It
also
did.
thank you for our sponsor, Build Your Own Tombstone.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We will be looking out for hashtag 111 and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye. There is that hashtag 111, and it's what is this? 111. What you want is within reach. Your angels are saying, keep your vibrations high. Lower frequencies will delay your manifestation.
That is a sign. That is a fucking sign, Mark.